What is up, everybody? You know what time it is Saturday, so prepare to go beyond and learn the meaning of plus ultra. Welcome to the Smash Podcast. It's a lovely day, and it's a whoa, what's going on?
Everything all right?
Oh yeah. Sorry, there was just a little echo there. Yeah,
Okay.
little bit about that. Anyways, as always, we got a great, exciting episode today for all of you watching, and especially we got a lovely little announcement to make here from some very special people on Twitter. Little bit of an issue here. We got some technical issues with a couple people on the panel, but they'll hop in when they can. But for right now, you got me in operation here to hold it down. So let's go ahead and start off with these intros. Operation, tell them about yourself, my man.
I'm sick. That's like the highlight of my day so far. But other than that, just been chilling. Just on Netflix watching Peaky Blinders. That's a fantastic show. If anybody's into like the mobster type shows, especially because this one takes place in the United Kingdom, like a little after World War I, believe. It's like the story, the character, the cast. Some of the actors are bringing it too. As other mobster, it's a great show. Highly recommend for anybody.
All right, I'm glad to hear that. I know you've been talking about Peaky Blinders quite a bit lately, and with a name like
Whew.
that, it's kind of funny, but
Yeah.
we definitely have to check it out. And of course, you have me here, your boisterous host with the most, Bloody Knuckles. Now, today's a good little day because for me personally, I've been excited for this, and there's just so much good stuff in going on in the anime community right now. Like just absolutely news all over the place. And this episode is going to be a pretty heavy anime send off episode, and I'm happy for it. But probably the biggest thing for me right now is one of my favorite series that came out a little bit ago called DanMachi, or as its full title is it wrong to pick up girls in a dungeon? And this it's one of those long names that make you think what, but it's actually really enjoyable because the fact that it's interesting as it's a high fantasy style anime, but it also has like RPG elements because all the adventures in there actually have legitimate stats on their backs because they have blessings of the gods who they join their what's called familias. And it had a great first season, was really well done. Sadly, never got a second season, but about a year ago, it did get a second season of sorts, but it was a spinoff from one of these spinoff mangas called Sword or Toria, which told the story from a perspective of one of the other major characters that's in the show, known as Eyes Wallenstein, because the main story follows Bell Cranel. But as much as I've been waiting for a second season, hopefully it's coming. A while back, there was an announcement that it was getting a mobile game, and that was called DanMachi Memoria Freeze. And I had been watching this game for a while because the fact that it was actually going to be one of the first games to launch through Crunchyroll's games program. And me and you have actively talked about how we feel about Crunchyroll in the past, but I thought it was real cool that they were doing more than just their streaming services and that this was going to be one of the first games to really launch for and kind of kick off their games program. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the anime I haven't had a chance to watch it. I'll make sure I get that in the future. But like, it's weird you tell me about the story. They had the first season, the greenlit spin-off, and they're making a game about it, but no second season. I mean, like, looking at it from outside looking in, it's obviously lucrative for them to invest even more projects into this anime, but no second season. Like, come on
Well,
now.
and that's the interesting thing is that the light novel's been going on for quite some time, and it's at a real good point in the light novel, and I think that we might see the second season. I'm still holding out for it, but what's great about it is that Sword Art Toria, which was a spin-off, which was also a spin-off manga, was really interesting because it kind of told the first season's part of the first season, but it was showing a lot of things going on that was going on behind the scenes that was running parallel to the main show, and it was following a different character and her story and how both of them kind of intersect. And I think that's what made it really well for me, despite that it's not the pure second season we want, to kind of see the drive and what caused a lot of the intersections and interactions between the characters from the original main series to this is really good. And with the fact that they're still putting so much into this franchise, even with it being a mobile game, that really just kind of helps to show the impact as well as the attention that this series gets to get more people into it, because it really is a well done series. It does have, its typical tropes that you'd expect. Main character falls in love with one character. There's a couple that you could tell that's obviously crazy about them, but it leads into the big comedic scenes without being too far over the top. But it's still well done. The writing is great. The characters feel organic. They're very well done, and the action when they really go into the RPG style of the high fantasy is phenomenal. They're one of my favorite scenes is when he really starts to understand his power, and he fights a minotaur, because in the very first episode, like well into it, he's a rookie adventurer. He runs into a minotaur that shouldn't be on the lower levels of the dungeon that the adventurers explore. He gets terrified. Well, later in the series, you really see him make a strong comeback, and everyone's just kind of in awe of him and things. And the story gets really interesting with it down the line, when you find out why he is the way he is. And that's what's interesting about the game that I started playing, is that one, there was so much put into this game, right? It's fully written by the original creator of the series, of the light novel. He wrote almost all of the story for it. It adds a little bit more to characters that you don't get to actively see. It's fully voiced and everything. And it's just been well done. It's still, very much a mobile game, what you would expect out of them. But there was so much attention to this, which is great. The animation for the character models, being those chibi styled smaller character models, it's still very fluid in the animation. The action in it is very much RPG. You level up the characters using the gacha style mechanics that we've seen in these mobile games, especially for things like that. And it works because you get the different rarity characters. You use those characters in your party, you level them up, make them stronger, as well as you also have what's called assist characters. So you have a squad, a party, which is up to 4 players, and then those characters can have their own assist characters, which are like other characters in the series, especially the gods, that really add into this RPG aspect of it. So the characters themselves have their base attacks. They get special skills. You can upgrade their skills by playing with those characters. The more you use them, it gives them bonuses, as well as in the main area. You have all the menu buttons to really go to, like the shop, equipment store, your little quests, the things that is typical in those kind of mobile aspects. But the interesting thing is that you actually move around in the main town, called Orario, as well as you're actually able to uh, interact with some of the characters that you've unlocked. And the more you interact with them each day, you increase that personal level with these characters, that unlock even more special bonuses for those characters, from increases to that character specific skills, or unlocking new skill sets all the way. Like, it's an actually well done RPG for a mobile game, which has been really impressive to me, because one, it's turn based, like you would expect, but the way that it gets into the action, you move left and right when you go into the dungeon, but you run into an enemy, it immediately goes into the fight after you touch them, and after the fight's finished, it goes right back. Like, there's no big screens that takes it out of it. It's very fluid in a lot of things, which makes it very special, uh, with what they're doing with it, which is why I've been enjoying it and playing it. Like, I was actually playing it just before we went live here. And they're giving quite a bit of free stuff right now for the launch, as a promotional period, that a lot of the games do, and it's still really nice. They give you enough to do a big 11 spin gotcha of the little character draw. You can do it 11 times, get a bunch of characters, you get a few of the rare ones guaranteed, as well as they're doing special promotions right now for the first few weeks to do a lot of in-game events to kind of help push it out there. And it's really good, and a lot of it is especially really well done, is that it's based on when you start, not necessarily when the game started. So there are the in-game events that are for a set time period, but there's a few of them that are during this time frame. That's all when you start the game, which is really great. But like I said, for this game being a mobile game, there's so much into it that is very unique and makes it very fun, for me at least. And I've played quite a few of the big mobile games, especially from big franchises. I was definitely into Fire Emblem when that game launched, for on mobile, because I do love Fire Emblem. But with what Crunchyroll actually did for this series and what they're doing with this mobile game makes it a well done step above so many others. I don't care that it's a gotcha style that a lot of people make. That's what mobile games do. They do that to definitely help and help kind of fund it. They did get a lot of that going through, but it's definitely great because it's not overdone and it's definitely to help support the game. And I'm loving it right now. And if you haven't played it, I definitely would recommend checking it out. There's actually a link down below to check out the game, to download it from the Google Play Store because it is live, as well as all of their social media information is down below. Definitely give them check out the information. They're really great on Twitter. This isn't sponsored by them or anything like that. This is all my own personal information.
It's all nonprofit work.
Yeah, all nonprofit. Yeah, I personally am loving this. Their Twitter account has been phenomenal and great. I want to give them all the love and respect and hope that this game can take off. And like I said, it's definitely well done with the story because it does take aspects from the season for those who don't know the story yet to really play through it, see a lot of this back stuff as well. And like I said, it's all fully voiced and written by the original creator. So there's a lot of attention and love into this game. So if you haven't checked it out, definitely do. If you haven't heard of it before, definitely go and take a look at it now. It's definitely well worth it because like I said, this franchise is something unique, especially for high fantasy, comedy, action, and it has its very deep, for those who like games, it has a lot of aspects that it ties into like an RPG kind of game, with the characters being blessed by the gods themselves and actually having legitimate stats and leveling up being such a thing that these adventurers strive for. It makes it a very unique series and I love it. I'm absolutely in love with it and I'm glad that it's getting this kind of attention.
This game sounds better than like most console RPGs out here right now. That's the sad part about it. I'm glad it's getting all the support, getting all the love and attention to it, especially like one of the co-directors that are actually working on it as well. Not co-directors, but creators. But like, damn, for a mobile game, this sounds pretty legit though.
Yeah, and like I said, the thing that surprised me is how fully voiced it is. It doesn't have a lot of the big sounds that you would expect from it, but the voice acting is really well done in for it. Of course, it's in Japanese for those who are worried, and it is all subbed, but the characters still very much the characters, and I love it. It's so well done.
Nice.
Yeah, but like I said, if you're curious about it, the link is down below. Definitely go check that information out, and all their social media information is down there. So definitely give them some love. And of course, one of our panel members here just hopped in a little bit late, but go ahead and introduce yourself there, Noah.
Hey, what's up, man? What's up? This is Noah. I go by Noah. My full name Noah Osborne. Sorry I'm late, man. I had to handle something with the landlord here, but glad to be here.
Oh yeah, man. Like I said, it's all good. We're all here about that nerdy news and all that geeky goodness. We got things to take care of, but we're all here just having a good time. Like I said, for everyone, like I said, DanMachi, Memoria, Freese, check it out. I'm in love with it. Definitely look up some of the others in the community. They're on Twitter. They definitely show off all the community members doing videos for it. Definitely give you some tips and tricks. Definitely check it out.
Oh yeah, man. We gotta run it, man. I'm gonna install it. I'll be bored at work, so
hey. Yeah. Hey man, that's one way to pass the time.
You're right.
All right. Now, next up on our list is something that's a little special for us because we've gone on many shows about this here personally, but last week was the final episode of Dragon Ball Super.
It will not be missed.
oh man, the shade is already being thrown.
Man, that was disrespectful. Oh god.
No, that show's disrespectful. That's what it is.
Oh
what?
No.
Nah.
What?
So much potential.
But while he's throwing the shade, like I said, last week's episode was the final episode of Super to get its send off. They definitely closed out what they were setting up with the Tournament of Powers story arc. Me personally, I enjoyed the ending. It was well done. It was well animated. The fight was still really well done. The characters' reactions and interaction was still very great. We all kind of knew how it would end because we all had an had the idea, but the way that it came about was the upset that kind of surprised me. Because me personally, I was in the camp in theory that it was going to be Goku and Frieza who were going to be last standing with Jiren to go toe to toe with him. But having the boy 17 show up at the end to for that upset was just
right
like
in the fields,
out there. Yeah, man. I was
right in the fields.
I was upset when we thought he was gone because 17 was my dude, but when he came back, that had me all like, oh my god. But he was the one to make the save, get the wish, and it was very interesting the way they did it. Is that
didn't Zen and Future Zen, didn't they scratch off the list for Universe 7? Didn't they do that?
They did do that, and that was the interesting thing that we were talking about, is that it kind of proved that even the Grand Priest and Zeno weren't all knowing because they couldn't sense him because he was hiding himself. So that's what caused quite a bit of a stir in the community. But I was still very down for it. I was glad to see that he wasn't, because the fact that they thought self-destruction, he didn't get knocked out, but he self-destructed. Well, he's no longer felt. He's not here. You know,
yeah,
it's one of the.
I don't think they know how self-destruction works.
And also, he's an android too. They don't release ki like
they don't. Yeah, like they don't release energy like the rest of everyone else who uses ki. So it is something very, very different. That was a special case in that aspect. But with that being said, you know, like I said, the way that they set up the last fight, you know, Goku, 17
epic,
and Frieza,
was so epic.
It was an epic fight.
Yo, that was a great fight. Just seeing the way that they were all using each other.
Throw me at him, Goku. Throw me at him. Hey, I love it.
Yeah, just tackle Jiren when he was trying to go after. Yeah,
and Goku in out Super Saiyan 1, that was dope too.
Yeah, that was dope, man. Like I nearly cried, man.
Yeah, it was a really well animated and great setting off. The last fight, you know, did really finish it all up, and it was still really good, even though it was short.
It was kind of sentimental too, as well, because you know Goku and Frieza's final form, Goku in Super Saiyan 1, how you beat him in Super Saiyan 1, and then fighting together like that, bro.
Oh yeah, it was great. And then seeing them both kind of like, we're gonna do this, and they were just sitting there back to back, both charged up, super punching Jiren and tackling him out of the arena. Like that was cool. But of course, the best thing is that 17 won. He got the wish. He did exactly what Goku would have done. But of course, he still got his boat, so he still got his cruise. So as they say, boat for the goat.
You really think Goku would have made the same wish? I don't know.
That's exactly what Goku was gonna wish for.
Goku's not the brightest bulb in the pack.
He's not the brightest, but the thing is, Goku did not want others to be erased. He was fighting for Universe 7, but he did not want the others to be erased. Like
I don't agree with that. But you gotta
think about that kind of look that he gave when the Grand Priest was looking at him when they did erase, what was it, Universe 4? In the beginning, when Vegeta and Goku immediately just both Kamehameha and Gallic gunned that entire universe out of the ring, and they were erased. How terrified Goku was when he looked at the Grand Priest, and he had that look of like, yeah, we're serious. You better win. Yeah. He wanted the other universes to live. He didn't think that it was something for real.
I don't disagree with that, but my thing is, I don't know if Goku has the mental capacity to come up with the proper way. I mean, if you watch Dragon Ball Z from the beginning, Dragon Ball up to Dragon Ball Super, right? He's not educated.
Oh, he's not. He's very generous.
It's a lot of times it's other people's ideas that push them ahead. I mean, Goku is talented at fighting. Like he can learn skills, you know, and with the snap of a finger. That's like his trademark. But when it comes to like thinking and coming up with the solution to solve everybody's problem, I think that's why they let 17 win. And I don't know if Goku even looked shocked when 17 made the wish. Like, oh, that's a good wish.
No,
I don't
I
know.
think he was more surprised that 17 made the wish that he was gonna make because
Oh.
17 wanted his cruise. That's what he always joked that his wish was gonna be for was
Yeah.
to go on a cruise with his family. But but like 17 said before he self-destructed, I don't care about the cruise now, and he said, Goku, you better win. But when he didn't, he was gonna make the wish that Goku was gonna make.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you gotta remember too that Goku's a very compassionate, very generous person. He's not the smartest out there, but we've seen him in the past. He's always think about others, always care for others as well. So I'm pretty sure he will make the wish to bring all the universes back.
Yeah, I consider that too. Yeah.
And that's kind of what the Grand Priest's final words were saying is that Goku has that appeal to inspire others around him and to be as selfless. Even Frieza for a minute would stop being as selfish for just a minute to help for the greater aspect of the fight. Of course, Frieza being Frieza, he says, I'm not gonna stop doing evil things. He's like, I'll stop you. He's like, okay. Well, we'll come across that bridge when it gets there. But that's the thing about it is that Goku inspired others to be more selfless and to do more than just anything for them. That's what he was striving for.
Right. And real quick, how powerful is Whis? Because that dude just resurrect Frieza right there on the spot like it was nothing.
Oh yeah.
The priests are powerful. They're the ones. Remember, Whis is training Beerus how to use Ultra Instinct. The priests are able to have kind of that power. I mean, I guess it wouldn't be as strong because I don't think they can control destruction energy like the gods can. But I would say that the priests are very, very powerful.
Okay.
Yeah. Especially the Grand Priest. He's supposed to be the most powerful of them all the angels.
Yeah. It was fun how back then before the show ended, everyone had these conspiracy theories and whatnot about the Grand Priest being evil and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I'm just sitting here thinking, y'all think the show's deeper than what it is? Like, no, it's a Saturday morning anime for kids. Like, this is not some Sherlock Holmes shit going on. No, it's a simple brawl out anime.
But I mean, people do want some because we could say that, but there are some that do go deep, and that's definitely, I wouldn't say expect that out of Dragon Ball, but Dragon Ball's had its upsets over the years, but I would definitely agree that it's not always going to be something crazy like that, but there's always a hope that it would be something interesting.
I didn't expect Goku to win either. If you notice when it comes down to big fights, Goku is rarely the winner. Like with Cell, Gohan beat Cell. Like even with the case, even though Goku beat Frieza, technically beat him, Trunks is the one finishing him off. It came down to the Ginyu Force. Goku lost to Captain Ginyu, and even like Dragon Ball, Goku lost to Jackie Chan. He lost to General Tapao?
Yeah,
Tapao. So it's like the writer, like the conflict is more interesting than the outcome.
Yeah, because I guess you could put it that way is that when Goku wins, it's a win, but just barely because even when he wins, he still gets something up. Because think about if you really want to look at the Cell Saga, he had to die because he transported Cell away to King Kai's place, and poor King Kai gets the short end.
He's still dead.
He's still dead.
He had enough time to leave. That's what bugged me about Cell Saga. He had enough time to leave. At least Cell's fat ass over there. Like, come on now.
Just throw Cell into the sun. Here you go. Bye.
Exactly.
It's the only place I could think to go to.
Goku, you've been all over the universe, and you think to just come to my place? Like, come on now. And think about it, it's like poor King Kai still did get the short end of the stick because he's still dead, yet they wished back his little planet. Like, come on now. Poor King Kai. He's always getting into Goku's antics because of him. That's why you don't train with the gods, because especially with Goku. Because if a god trains Goku, he's gonna destroy something of yours.
Pretty much. Like for me, as far as the show, my only grasp with it just lost quantum potential. The characters could have been fleshed out better. The writing could have been better for it as well.
It definitely could have been better for
execution. It's just like
because especially think of like Jiren's backstory. We all made the memes about it because of the fact that it's very Sasuke, but it's it's what it is. I mean, to be fair, the justice what was it? The Justice Troopers were all meant to be those kind of joke characters anyways, because they're I don't know which universe they were or what genre they were making fun of. Because, you know, what was it? Rebrand and all of them were making fun of Magic Girls, Maho Shoujos. You had
You know, it's probably Power Ranger. Maybe.
I wouldn't. That's the thing is, I don't know if it's Power Rangers.
They were making fun of the Expendables. That's what I saw.
No,
Oh,
Power Rangers. Think about what was the one guy who was fighting Vegeta, who was using his forms. I believe he was based on Kamen Rider. No. The one who kept changing. Yeah, that guy.
With the speed.
Yeah, the speed guy, and he's just like, "Oh, you're faster than me at even 300 times my speed." It's just like, come on, dude. Like,
oh, wait, I know you're talking about that dude who kept changing his suit armor to different colors.
Yeah, who kept changing different colors. And Frieza was he's just like, watch me in my ultimate form. And he runs off and Frieza's just like, well, that was weird. I'm not going there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he was supposed to be making fun of Kamen Rider with the Henshin series of shows. Because that was very Kamen Rider-esque. And I thought he was also kind of making fun of Power Rangers, but with the Justice Trooper or Pride Troopers, that's what their name is, Pride Troopers. I don't know exactly what genre they were kind of referencing or anything like that, but either way, it was still really well done. It was the send off we had kind of expected. You know, you see everyone kind of living their lives back again. You know, everything cleaned up. Vegeta and Goku are just like, well, we still got to fight and train. And that was a really nice little aspect where they're fighting. And he's just like, you still can't go Ultra Instinct anymore.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to be stronger than you. And that entire scene.
Did you say you forgot it?
Huh?
Did Goku say he forgot how to go Ultra Instinct now?
No, he said that.
No, he said he couldn't.
He said he couldn't.
Yeah, he said he couldn't because of the fact that he said
got
that the tournament.
Yeah,
the tournament pushed him to his limit, but with him fighting Vegeta, he said he can't do it anymore. And Vegeta said, I'm going to be stronger than you were. But the interesting thing about that scene is that was the same poses and area that they were fighting when they first met during the Saiyan Saga way back in Z.
Yeah.
And I think Vegeta's lucky stronger than Goku at this point.
Well, we already know that his Super Saiyan God Blue is stronger than Goku's, and now he was able to push himself to beyond Blue, or as some people still refer to it, because I still prefer it as Royal Blue.
Yep.
It's Blue Evolution, bro. No, they have a name for it. It's Evolution Blue or whatever.
It's Evolution Blue. Is that the name for it? Okay.
Well, I like Royal Blue. Royal Blue is nice.
Yeah, it is, dude. Royal, Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Blue Evolution. That's what it is.
Oh man, I'm just gonna stick with Super Saiyan God Royal Blue.
I think with Goku's Kaioken combined with Super Saiyan Blue, I think they're about even.
Nah, it's still. I think the Blue Vegeta is still stronger.
Yeah, Royal Blue Vegeta is still stronger than even Kaioken times 20 Super Saiyan Blue for Goku, and that's one of the things that broken down about it is, and especially we got to see Vegeta really pick up because he was able to see Jiren's movement because he got better about learning how to fight, how to anticipate. He didn't unlock Ultra Instinct, but he was definitely able to show his reflexes more on being able to read Jiren's movement better than Goku could.
Yeah. I remember there's one point everyone was theorizing about how Goku learned one part of Ultra Instinct, Vegeta learned the other, fuse and like become complete Ultra Instinct.
I was still hoping for that. I was hoping for that
too. I was definitely hoping for that theory.
That's what I thought was gonna happen, especially when Whis. Remember earlier in the series, Whis was like, "You guys' problems is you don't know how to fight together as a team." So I thought, hey, this was a perfect moment to show Whis.
But I think that we also showed that their this cohesion and fighting was actually what helped them when they were first going in on Jiren, is that they weren't synced, so he wasn't able to.
Who still knows, because the manga is still doing stuff like totally different too, bro. So it's still possible that can happen in the manga.
In the manga, probably.
Like, yeah, because the manga is like some whole different other stuff, bro, that's going on in the tournament.
Yeah,
manga.
Yeah, we definitely do. But speaking of,
because in the manga, they still truly haven't even mastered Super Saiyan Blue, dude. They go in and out of it like to use it completely. And then once Goku actually mastered it, he you don't see a blue aura. It's just all inside of him. He sucks it all in. So like it's totally different like than the show, man. It's crazy.
Interesting.
That's pretty.
I guess we conclude that anime is trash, manga's much better.
Oh
no!
But that's another reason. Like I guess supposedly behind the hiatus that is going on, because they want the manga to catch up to the actual show, so they could possibly do like the semi dubcast or whatever it's called.
The simulcast.
Yeah, they want all that. Like that's another reason why that whole like branch of Toei that just opened. It's all part of that, dude.
Exactly what we were about to go into is that one of the reasons that it showed during an investor call that Toei was actually doing a restructuring and that they're moving part of their main Studio 1 that was doing all their animation is now being split up because now they're taking the part of that works solely on Dragon Ball to create their own animation studio within their houses. It's like House 3 that focuses solely on all Dragon Ball projects.
Yeah.
So right now they moved all their stuff into that, and now they're focusing on the movie that's going to be coming out here in December, here at Christmas time, with whichever story they're going to tell about that. Because right now the still working theory is that it's going to be about the first Super Saiyan God, Yamoshi. But we still don't know for certain because they haven't confirmed anything. But we have a pretty strong idea from everything. But,
just to take a step back real quick, has anybody like thought about the possibilities like that happened along with 17's wish, dude? About because he decided to bring all the universes back. You know how there was universes that were already completely wiped out. Do you think they came back too? Because that brings a whole new host of like enemies possibilities.
That would bring Zamasu back too, wouldn't it?
Exactly.
I don't think Zamasu would be brought back.
Well, I'm not saying him, but I'm just saying all those other like universes because Zamasu's in a totally different he's in a different time frame, right?
Yeah, he was in a different timeline, but still same universe.
So I don't see him, but I mean like for those because I mean you got to remember where the tournament took place. That was that was once a universe that's been wiped out. So it's like they were fighting pretty much like in a damn graveyard in space, pretty much, bro. Like it's just completely wiped out. So it's no telling like what could possibly have came back with them, dude, after that wish, because he didn't specifically say the universes that were lost in this tournament. He said all the universes.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, there's
a lot. Point. That is a good point that can bring up some new possibilities. But as I was saying, it's just interesting that now, almost 2 decades later,
right,
or almost 3 decades later, that Toei is just realizing how big of a moneymaker Dragon Ball is as a franchise.
That thing racks up, dude.
Exactly. And it's like, especially with you think about the struggles that Dragon Ball Z suffered, having to use 3 or 4 different studios to keep up with all the animation for each episode. It's like, why didn't they think about doing this a lot sooner? Because Dragon Ball Z was a massive moneymaker when it was
but that's also my fear now though too. Now that they're doing that open studio, like they're probably gonna be trying to do so much other work with Dragon Ball that we might get like just like over like just too much, man. You know what I'm saying? Like it could be a mess, bro. That's all I'm saying. Because they could be trying to go left with it, go right. They can go anywhere with it. I mean, because Dragon Ball's universe is still big because they've already touched these other universes. So they could try to do stuff with like Kappa's universe or, you know what I'm saying? Just like, I don't want them to do anything like that. That's going to be too crazy, dude. That can water down the lore of Dragon Ball.
I mean, I definitely feel where you're coming from. I just think that now that they're having a full aspect of their animation studios solely dedicated to Dragon Ball, they're gonna have better turnaround times. They're gonna have more consistent animation because we've the
animation's a big thing.
Yeah, because we talked about how their animation has always been very all over the place. Because of the fact that they bring in different animators for different times. But now I think with this, they'll have that dedicated animation team. They'll have that more consistency, and it'll help to improve the quality overall. And there's still the talks that after with Dragon Ball Super ended, and then with the movie, that there's talks that there's going to be new opportunities for investors in 2019 for Dragon Ball. So I definitely feel that they're going to bring it back in 2019, and when they do, hopefully I think hopefully at that time we'll see Toritaro really start to take over for the story and help drive the direction for Dragon Ball at that time, because then he'll be able to bring in the fresh ideas that they have for story arcs that he wants to do, as well as
Toritaro he's the mastermind behind the manga. Like he's doing everything in manga, bro. So
yeah, but
he will be able to pull over his story that he has like from that.
Exactly. He's doing the manga right now, but he's not doing so much with the anime. But that's what I'm saying is that with this new direction, that can really help put it, because Toriyama's definitely at the point where he's like he's really looking at
he don't know
being
what the hell
done
he's
with
doing.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean that kind of defines his career, because if you look at so many interviews where he talks about stuff that he drew, he's like, I don't remember this. It's like, when did I draw this? Where did this come from? Like
he forgot the Saiyans had tails.
Yeah. And that's an unfortunate thing, Toriyama
which is crazy, dude.
Which is definitely unfortunate, because Toriyama is definitely a phenomenal creator and had so much to do with Dragon Ball and really helped, really make this the juggernaut it is. It's just sad that even he has forgotten some of his own details. But I mean, that happens even with creators. I mean, look
at that though. Look, we're going into right now. We're currently in 29 years of Dragon Ball, bro. Next year, that's why I also think next April is when Dragon Ball is going to come back, because it comes back like perfectly. The show that's taking over Dragon Ball right now in the time slot is only going to be on for like 50 to 52 weeks. So if you think about that, like roughly, that's next April. Next April is Dragon Ball's 30th year anniversary, and also Dragon Ball Z Kai's 10-year anniversary. What better time to come back, bro, at your 30-year anniversary?
Exactly.
Like, it's gonna be a big spectacle.
And I think that's why Toei's announcing these new opportunities for investors for Dragon Ball. So I definitely think we'll see it come back next year. I definitely see it as a strong possibility. If it does
get a spinoff.
I don't think so much a spinoff. I think it's just gonna be. I think it's gonna be renamed. I don't think it's gonna come back as Dragon Ball Super. You know how they love to change the names of the shows.
They might spin off like what they call it, the Justice what's
Pride
the
Troopers?
the Pride Troopers, the Pride Troopers. You think they'll like spin them off and make an anime out of them, or
nah? I definitely think that if they come back, that they'll definitely involve them in a lot of the stories later. I mean, look at what happened with Universe 6 after the Universe 6 story arc. I mean, we started seeing a lot of like Kaba and Hit and some of the others from Universe 6, and now they're playing a big part, especially now after the Tournament of Power. We got introduced to Kale and Caulifla. So I mean, it's definitely going to be one of those things.
Yeah.
So I definitely see where G is coming from. That's definitely going to come out next year. It has a strong possibility,
like I said,
because
bro,
it makes sense.
52 weeks from the day that show airs. I can't think of the name of it, but that's like roughly next April, next May. That's Dragon Ball's 30-year anniversary, bro. They will be back in some kind of way.
Yeah.
And then the movie supposedly is like leading over into a new arc. So whatever that movie like sets up, just like Resurrection F and the Battle God set up to like pretty much what we have in Super, like it's gonna be interesting, dude.
Yeah,
and then they know that's just a cash cow, bro. So why would they not like do something with it?
Yeah, real quick though, I think something's going on behind the scenes for them to like underhand like their biggest franchise like this, because like now they're getting like a separate studio for them, dedicated for them that, and they know how big it was for all these years, and now they want to do it.
I don't think so much something is going like that going on. I just think they just restructuring so they can focus more on it, because it's they see the money that thing makes, dude. So why not put more focus into it?
Yeah, I see that, but like, why waste so long?
But you gotta think too is that if you look at, they separated their animation team from the main house that works on Dragon Ball from the teams that do everything else. So now they're gonna have that in-house studio that works solely on Dragon Ball, and then their main animation teams are still gonna work on their other shows, as well as they have another animation house that does their 3D CG shows, animes, and those are still doing their thing, but they're just basically pulling out the animation team that does other work and Dragon Ball to focus solely on Dragon Ball. That's where it's all coming down to.
Yeah, to answer your question, I think it's just taking so long because they're focusing more of their assets right now on the movie and getting that thing done, and then like work on, and like I said, he wants the manga and everything to catch up. Too. I read this interview with Toriyama, and he was saying how he wanted everything to be like on the same course, like in the same time. So he doesn't want the manga to be so far behind. He doesn't want the TV show that's on Cartoon Network to be so far behind. He wants everything all in line, bro. So that's probably another reason why he's letting this gap happen, so that everything could possibly catch up to when it restarts in sometime next year.
Oh, definitely. I see they want to reallocate resources to get the manga caught up and everything. I'm seeing like, for the past few years, they just decided now to invest more in Dragon Ball instead of like years prior when it was still big. That's the thing I don't get.
Yeah. Sometimes they gotta how their eyes reopen, bro. I guess I don't know.
Yep.
Sometimes the big wigs aren't the most smartest people.
Ooh, Warner Brothers is the truth to that. It's a testament to that right there.
Man, my bosses at work is the truth of that, bro. They doing some dumb stuff, and they get paid like triple my salary, bro. And be doing some dumb stuff. So come on, that's evidence right there, bro. But, yeah.
Exactly, but man, it like I said, it's one of those things that it's come with the territory. You think that this would be something that they do sooner, you know, but it's being done now. So I'm just glad that they are. That now they could focus solely on the projects they want to do with that. Hopefully, it doesn't affect their other shows that they have. Of course, a lot of people say that Toei hasn't been doing much outside of Dragon Ball, but you know that's for another day. But it's good that it's finally getting the attention that it deserves and the dedication. I really hope to see the improvement and really hope that they do amazing work with the projects that they want to do.
Definitely. I think we can segue on to our next topic.
Exactly.
Involving the Gundam game coming to PS4 and PC.
Actually, yeah. So Bandai Namco here in the U.S. actually just made a new announcement here for a new game called New Gundam Breaker, and it's based on the new Gundam series, Gundam Build Fighters, as well as a new one that's going to be coming out called Gundam Dive Fighters. Because what they're called Gunplas, which are very much like model kits where you can mix and match parts and build the Gundam that you want and use them to fight. Well, the interesting thing about it is that it was announced and it's only coming out to PS4 and PC. Now, I'm really happy that the game is being made because if you don't like mecha or you're very iffy on mecha, Gundam has always been for you. Yeah, well, yes and no, but Gundam mecha has always been one of those genres that have been very iffy for a lot of people, and I think Gundam has always been one of the biggest introductions. Besides, you know, Neon Genesis, Evangelion, and of course, what's the other one? Big O. You know, those are some of the really top mechas besides Robotech, if you really want to go old school, that are really great about the mecha genre. But Gundam has always been a really good introduction if you want to go with Mobile Suit. Even though it's very long, it's definitely something that can definitely help build in for a lot of people. However, their new Fighters franchises definitely has that mecha flavor where it's still very much, you know, grounded. There's no big space opera drama that you would expect out of the rest of the Gundam franchise. It's very toned down. It's about kids building Gundam models and, you know, having little fights with them and doing, you know, what kids used to do on the playground with action figures and stuff like that. It's really cool. And the fact that they're making a game on it is really interesting because in the game, you know, you build your Gundam, you destroy other Gundams, get new parts and build up and improve it from there. The only thing is, again, it's that they're not bringing it over to Xbox here in the US or here in the West. And this is disappointing is that, yes, well, Gundam is still a very niche series, and we haven't really seen much Gundam lately with how big Gundam Fighters was, Build Fighters was, the new series, you know, Dive Fighters coming out where it's now in 3D virtual reality. You get to pilot it because of their show. That's how they're showing it in the promos. How big Blood Orphans was with the new Gundam series that they came out, Iron Blooded Orphans, which was phenomenal, by the way. It's sad that Mecha and Gundam still isn't getting the attention it deserves, and it's still being held out with. You know, I would have expected this game to be on something like the Switch as well, because that would work perfectly on the Switch, especially here in the West. And I know that's because it's a series and genre that hasn't really been well marketed here in the West in a long time, and I really do hope that they change it. I'm happy that it's being made and that it's getting, you know, on the platforms it does. I really hope that they do expand on it because Gundam is still one of those series that has so much history and legacy all across. The last Gundam game that came out on the Xbox, I believe, here in the West was Gundam Warriors, which was a Musou Dynasty Warriors style game that came out on the 360.
I remember that
generation. And that game,
Yeah,
was
that game
fun.
was cool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
it
was
was pretty
fun
cool.
because it's exactly what you would expect out of a Gundam game. Over the top action, you're flying around in space, just destroying things with a beam saber or the crazy weapons that are on it. It fits for the Musou style of games, but it still stinks that it's not coming over and getting more attention because I feel like Gundam is still one of those very legacy driven games that have such a strong history and franchise that it does deserve more attention from all platforms.
Yeah, I doubt this is Sony's involvement in this because it's coming to PC as well. So I doubt they threw money back at Bandai Namco. But the thing is, like Bandai Namco, they're big enough studio to support multiple platform ports. Well, they could put on Switch and Xbox as well. I think right now, Monster Hunter World is telling that we will support Japanese games as well. So this is pretty. At first, this all falls on Bandai Namco. Why would be stingy put on two platforms? I don't know.
I'm on the wait and see approach because I mean, My Hero, the game didn't get announced for Xbox either from jump, So
but remember with the Justice for All for that My Hero game that got announced, when we first found out about that announcement, it was specifically for the Japanese there in the East on their consoles. Later, after it made the come over here to Shonen Jumping in the West, they announced that it was going to be all platforms.
I'm starting to think they don't like money or something.
I'm gonna still take the wait and see approach, because everything being announced lately, it always got Sony's name in front of it, and then next thing you know, it's like Xbox don't exist, Yeah. And then it ends up coming out in there anyway, but
yeah.
I mean, like you said, it is niche, so it may not take off. But the thing is, too, we live in a very weird time and era, bro, where things that we don't think will latches on, bro. Like, when did you ever see a Monster Hunter game do this great? Like,
that wasn't on a Nintendo console.
Exactly. There's games and there's movies and there's TV shows, bro, that 10 years ago, 15 years ago wouldn't have been this successful, and they are like the show stealers right now. Like, even I don't even care for Minecraft, but look at something like that 20 years ago, bro, would have been like, nah, I'm not trying to mess with that. Right. Or look at the success of Roblox. These little things like that, bro. Like, this time and era, bro, is so weird. And Gundam may just latch on this generation, bro.
It could definitely
may take off.
I don't understand what,
because it is a fun thing. Like, once you start understanding it and getting into it, like, Gundam is dope as hell. Oh, yeah. Like the whole anything but mechs is pretty dope, dude. Like I like Zoids. Remember Zoids back in the day, dude?
Mm-hmm.
That was my shit, bro. Like, and that's something that people don't even know or even bring up, but
dude, Zoids was something unique.
Shit, bro.
I still have one of my old Zoid figures. It was the Raptor that when it turned around, the tail was a sniper rifle. I remember that. That was awesome. Dude, Zoids was something unique, dude.
Dude had to lay down in the back of his tail, bro, and shoot out of it, dude. That Zoids was a shit, bro. Yeah. Liger Zero and Liger X and all that, dude.
I'm pretty sure it's coming to Xbox later on, but not announce it alongside PS4 and PC. I don't see what's the incentive for that. What did they gain from not announcing coming to Xbox right now?
Like I said, I still think it's coming, bro. I think it's just unannounced.
Yeah, true. The thing I don't get is why not announce it along with them? What did they gain from this? Not announcing Xbox.
It is one of those things that it's possible, but it's just Bandai knows better because Bandai is the one who handles almost all merchandising for all animes in Japan and here in the West.
Yep.
Everyone talks about it is that they fail to realize that Bandai Namco has the merchandising rights for almost every major anime.
But Bandai's marketing shit sucks too, though, bro. Because you gotta think about like this too. When they announce their games, they do it in a weird way. Like we know this. I feel this game's gonna come because even when they announced Code Vein on Microsoft stage, they didn't even say it was coming to PlayStation, but it is. They were just they made it look like an Xbox exclusive, and next thing you know, they were like, no, it's gonna come out on PlayStation. So it's just the way Bandai do their thing. When they want to focus on someone, they just say that's that, and then that's how it is for them, dude. It's weird.
Yeah, this is the official announcement they made on their Twitter, and like we said, it's possible it'll come over later, and I hope it does, because again, Gundam, especially
let's hope it's good.
Yeah, and like I said, this Gundam is different because it's not the over the top that you expect from some of the older, because it's very focused on the fighters, Build Fighters franchise, and that one has been very, very good. Because like I said, it's not over the top. It still has the mechas that you expect from Gundam, but it's more kind of slice of life. It's definitely one of those things, but it's enjoyable. You know, if you want the drama and bigger aspects of what makes Gundam, watch their newest series, Iron-Blooded Orphans. It's supposed to be getting a second series here soon, and
Nice.
and Iron-Blooded Orphans is beyond amazing. Like that's what old school mecha was about. That political drama, the intense action and the mechs. It's everything that you would want. If that's more for you, definitely go for that. But I think Gundam is still one of those aspects that still has that appeal all across the board. It's just you need to find the right genre of mecha for you to start off with before you look at others.
Right. Do y'all know any game mechanics for this Gundam game? Have they released any of them?
They showed off some of the early gunplay trailer or gameplay trailers. They're on their link to their website. It looks like your typical action RPG. You run around, attack things, and collect parts from them, and you're able to build new weapons and armor that completely changes the look of your Gundam based on the enemies that you kill. So some of the other mechas that you kill there in Gundam. So it's one of those things because they recently released another one based on the 7 Deadly Sins, and that's another anime styled fighter that we've seen with Dragon Ball and One Piece and Naruto. They did one with 7 Deadly Sins that was also PS4 and PC only.
Yeah, Fawn's mentioned in the chat about what was it?
Oh, Mazinger Z.
Mazinger Z?
Yes, yeah. Mazinger Z is amazing. That's another old school one. And I know that they're supposed to be doing a new movie for Mazinger Z actually here soon. Or there's a special movie event for Mazinger Z. I believe it's a new movie.
Yep. Do any of y'all know about that? Noah or Super G? Mazinger Z?
What's up?
You know anything about Mazinger Z?
Nah, not about the new stuff. This is news to me, bro. I don't know how to loop on that one, I guess.
Yeah, there was a new one that came out. I think it was called Mazinger Z Infinity. Came out about a year ago or so.
Mm-hmm.
Some people said it was really bad, but I thought it was really cool. I did like Mazinger. That's another great old school mecha. But again, if you really want to get classic, Robotech is the way to go. But on to the next thing right here is that there was actually a big anime just this past season because you always hear about some of the bigger ones that come out in each season. And the one that's really been really killing it this from the winter season is called Violet Evergarden. And the thing that's unique about Violet Evergarden is the fact of in this series, it talks about a character whose name is Violet Evergarden. She is the main character, and that she was originally bred to destroy her enemies during this big war. Well, during the war, she actually suffered an injury at the very end of it, and when she came up, she was no longer needed for that. So she tried looking for a new job, trying to adjust. And one of the things that she saw that actually that kind of drives the story is that she started working for the post office, right? But there was a special service where you can take these letters and read them, and they convey the emotions and feelings of the words of the person who wrote them. And it kind of follows her to kind of help her find herself in this new world, as well as change a lot of people's lives, because some of them are letters that are from people that aren't coming back. And it's been such a great show for a lot of people that have been loving it. And it's actually going to be seeing the full season launch next week on Netflix on the 5th. And I posted the link right there for y'all to kind of check it out, to kind of get an idea of the story. But what are y'all's thoughts on this series?
Yeah, I checked out a link for it. It seems like a really cool premise for it as well. I'm trying to remember right now what I read from it. I might pull up again.
Yeah.
But
what I seen and heard, it interests me, so I'm gonna give it a go, because I had a couple guys that worked there, was maybe 2 or 3 guys that was talking about it, and I didn't know what the hell they were talking about, but I'm gonna check it out, dude, because I'm always open and checking things out. If it grab me, it grab me. If it don't, I'm going to the next one, bro. So yeah, it does sound interesting.
It is something interesting, and I love that we're seeing these where, you know, they are doing more toned down stories or more emotional stories, and I think that's always good to see.
Yeah, it is good. I mean, you have to bring more of that to the whole anime forefront, because for the most part, people just think anime is about humping and some crazy stuff, bro. So it's like
it's all gore nuts and fighting or anime titties.
Yeah, exactly, and that's like that's the first thing. Like if I read my mangas at work, and then people are like, look at you, what you doing? You got some anime titties? Like I'm like, come on, for real, dude. Like, why does it always have to be that? You know what I'm saying? So with that is to like marking the area is so bad. So like just to get other type of things, like other genres come out that is in the form of anime, that is dope, dude. So I applaud and welcome all of it.
Definitely. I'm trying to figure out what animes were they led onto or first saw, because if that's all they think about it. Like, what do y'all see?
They don't see anything. They don't see anything, bro. They just talk just because it's a cool thing to do or what someone else has heard or said. I don't know, dude.
It's a good thing
to see cosplayers and they think it's all about nudity and little naked girls and whatnot, bro. So
I mean, don't get me wrong. There's enough about that, and I definitely have some of my favorites that are all about that because everyone loves
and it is, titties. But that doesn't define the genre,
exactly.
Though, bro.
Exactly. It doesn't define what anime is. That's the thing about it. That people feel and that's why I'm glad that we're seeing a lot of big, dramas or more personal stories come out. Like last week, and y'all unfortunately missed this because y'all got caught up in some things. Is that there's a new anime movie coming out, and I posted the links for that. It's called I Want to Eat Your Pancreas, and we were talking about this. The name completely does not do the movie any justice at all, but it's about a high school student who finds a wellness journal for one of his classmates that's dying of a terminal illness in her pancreas, and it kind of follows his journey with her over the next few months of kind of helping her acclimate and have fun but still keep things normal. And I thought that was something interesting for me because you recently just watched Your Name, which I told you about, which is
fantastic
phenomenal
movie.
Yes,
fantastic movie.
Your Name is a great.
That damn movie will make the biggest man cry almost, bro. Damn, I'm telling you, dude, like,
that movie.
Bro, I was in there like, should I cry? That movie gave me the feels, bro, so bad. I was so conflicted. I was like, I was like, is something wrong with me? Should I be crying or should I cry? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
was it when
that movie, dude, was something else.
Girls run down the bridge.
It's fantastic, bro.
I remember seeing a trailer about that. Something I kind of movie, but
and even the soundtrack's legit to that movie, bro. So the Ratwimps did a great job with that.
Yeah, and that's one of those things that I don't know that when we see a movie like that, because you got to think that this movie did so well that it was a great romance, it was a great comedy, it had its aspects, but it was a heartfelt story that this movie competed with some of the biggest names in anime. They did bigger too. Yeah, they did better than any of Hayao Miyazaki's films. They're the first movies in over 2 decades to compete with a Studio Ghibli and Hayao Miyazaki film. Like, that says something about what this did. And then you got to think about the other one, A Silent Voice. That one had me bawling, right?
Yeah, that's a you need a box of tissue with that one too, bro.
Yeah, and I watched that with my mom, dude. Like, that movie had me feeling so many types of ways because it handled a real subject and such a human nature. They didn't over the top it. They didn't undermine it. It was very realistic in the way that someone would handle that situation. And it made it very unique. And made it so well done that it would hit you in a way that you didn't understand. So that's why I'm glad to see a movie like this coming out and seeing like a show like Violet Evergarden getting the attention that it did, because it is a gem that comes out, every few seasons. You get those ones that are just like absolutely like deserving of all the attention that they're getting. And that was definitely one that came from the winter season.
Yeah. As far as Your Name, I didn't see a movie, but I saw a trailer for it because I think I brought up in the group chat. That show almost had me crying. No lie. I was crying for Your Name.
Oh, you saw the trailer? Yeah, for Your Name is amazing.
Man.
You need to watch Silent Voice. A Silent Voice will definitely, I'm telling you, you're going to need at least 2 boxes of tissues for that, because that will get you.
Dope. Add it to the list.
Yeah. So that's why I'm excited for I Want to Eat Your Pancreas. Again, misnomer, but it's going to be, I'm really looking forward to it. I understand what's going on in the movie. I've had a personal experience like that. I'm glad that they're telling a story like this. It'll be out in September. Be looking out for it. I know we're definitely gonna talk about it when it does come out.
I feel like for some of these developer companies, I know they don't like being stereotyped. It's all anime, but like, some of it seems a little self-inflicted, especially some of these titles.
Oh yeah, well, some of it is just translation errors and things. It's like there's no real way to translate some of them, but it is one of those things that kind of does just kind of fall out. But like I said, this definitely one of those ones where the name does not do the movie or the topic justice, but it's still going to be something interesting to check out.
Definitely, but why do you show us that name? I want to eat your pancreas. Like, come on now, man.
Yeah, I don't know why they chose that, because I was thinking something totally different when I first saw the trailer for it.
Because I want to save it.
Oh yeah. I was just like, oh okay, I see what's going on here.
Yeah,
it was one of those things that I was just like, okay, I see, I got you. But like I said, it happens. But I'm glad that it's being taken care of here. Now, for all of us, we've had our fun with One Punch Man, and even though some people will dog on it, we enjoy it and we find it hilarious and love it. Well, even though we've talked about this before and knew it was coming, they officially made the announcement that season 2 of Mob Psycho 100 is coming. Recently they released the final chapter for that series back in December, and they did announce that they were officially doing the second season, even though there had been already talks and speculation about this for like the past 3 months, because we actually talked about this back in January. Are you really surprised that they're just now making the announcement, especially now that the serialization is over? And are you looking forward to it? Have you seen it yet?
As far as Mob Psycho?
Yeah, Mob Psycho.
I'm not gonna lie, I saw like 5 minutes of the first episode. I turned it off. I need to go back and rewatch it and actually sit through it.
Oh no!
I did. I was looking like, what is this? Like, it just didn't catch me at that moment. But I guess if it's getting real for second season, it must have did something right. So I'll go back and try it out for myself.
I will say this: I can understand where you're coming from. It is definitely one of those things, but it's very much the humor of what you'd expect from one. It's weird. It's over the top. It's a very big joke, but it is phenomenal. Like, especially the first 5 minutes, because you're meeting Reagan, who's Mob's teacher, as a quote unquote psychic. And it is one of those things that just kind of goes over the top, all over the place. Reagan is such an eccentric character, but he gets so good later on in the series. It really does a lot of big humor, exactly what you would expect. If you saw how they did some of the animation and jokes in One Punch Man, they do some of the visual jokes here the same way in Mob. It really is phenomenal. I know that some people found the first episode hard to get through. But after that, like, my roommate loved One Punch Man. He watched Mob Psycho. He was dying laughing at it, because it's so silly. It's so just out there, and a lot of that is One's just humor and the way he writes, and it's well done. I loved it, and I definitely recommend it if you haven't checked it.
So why does Mob look so damn similar to Saitama? Like, I don't understand. I know it's the creator.
That's kind of the joke, is that his main characters are meant to kind of be like
interesting.
Uninteresting. They're supposed to be just like very kind of characters, nothing out of the ordinary, nothing eccentric. That's why all the other characters around them are just over the top. Like, look at Genos with Saitama. Saitama is just like a very flat-faced, bald-headed guy in a yellow suit, and yet his pupil is this super android, all customized out, always walking around in a tank top, has all these cool, crazy mechanical looking muscles, very specialized eyes and hair, very distinct, whereas Saitama is just very bland. I think that's kind of the joke about how he does it.
Okay, it's kind of like the Master Chief effect. Master Chief is a very bland character, but supporting cast for him, that's where life comes in throughout the series and show. It's really them that brings life into it.
Exactly.
Yeah, what about you, Super G? How you feel about it, man? Okay, I guess he stepped away for a second. But yeah, Mob Psycho, I definitely gotta check it out. I'll get a chance for it. I got so much shit on my list that I need to go through.
It's definitely one to check out. Now, we'll come back to G because it looks like he had to step away for a second.
Yeah.
The next big thing that actually is really interesting is that the director of Steins Gate, Takuya Sato, is actually working on a new show with Kadokawa, And just like Steins Gate, it's all about time travel. It's called Rewrited. And it's very interesting because it talks about uh, a son of a businessman who is in the development of something called the autonomous machine DZ. And it's a manufacturing company founded by his father. Well, one day him and his colleague saw that there was a flaw in it, and they tried to warn him, but they were ignored. And when they were at a party, apparently they fell into a cold sleep in a time machine and woke up 10 years later, and found out that 10 years later, that the world is kind of being controlled by these autonomous machines that were created by his dad. And he's trying to find his colleague Nathan's daughter, Mage, and he's trying to protect her and find out what's going on. It's kind of his journey that throughout time that he's still trying to hold on hope and do something right, and kind of trying to find some sort of semblance of care and goodness in this world that was created by, destruction. And I found it interesting is that I don't know if you've seen Steins Gate, but Steins Gate is great because the Steins Gate's interesting because it's all about time travel, and it's not your conventional time travel, right? It's a time traveling microwave.
Okay.
And I say that because of the fact that the main character is kind of this mad scientist style character, and he discovers the possibility of time travel, and he does it by doing experiments with the microwave. But what the story follows him is that one of his colleagues there at the university that he studies at, he finds them murdered, and it's someone that he really cares for, and it kind of goes and follows the story of him trying to go through all these parallel timelines and try and get it to where he's able to save this person and make sure they don't die. But it has its drama aspect, and it has its very interesting time travel theories. But the interesting thing about it is that it just shows all the eccentric characters that this mad scientist kind of brings up in these crazy shenanigans that he gets into. It's really funny, it's really well done, and it actually is going to lead into something that we're going to talk about here shortly. But I'm glad to see that the creator is sticking to something that he knows really well, in a genre that he likes, but he's doing it in a much different fashion. And as me and you both watched the promotional video for it.
Rewrited?
Yeah, for Rewrited.
Oh my god, the music, that music got me in the feels, man. That shit was so depressing.
The music and the score for it is just something else. It was
perfectly chosen for it.
Yeah, and it gives such a depressing and deep feel, but it also gives you that inspiration that even through the depression that there's hope. And I think that's the interesting thing about what this show is going to represent. And I'm really looking forward to it. It is coming out later this year. It's not coming out in the spring season. It's actually going to be premiering sometime later this year in Japan first. If I had to take a guess, I would say more in the fall, close to winter season, or more than likely the fall season, but it's possible it'll come out in the winter season. But right now it is not slated for anything except later this year in Japan. So once it premieres over there, we might see it slowly make its way over here in the West. But it is one I'm looking forward to, as I did enjoy Steins Gate significantly, and I'm glad to see the director is doing something else really big and interesting in this way.
Right. So as far as it premiering in Japan, does it like as soon as it appears in the West, it's like six or so months afterwards? Is that how they do it?
Sometimes it'll premiere significantly later like that. Not necessarily all the time. Sometimes if it's a big show, they'll do the simulcast. Typically, we'll get it like a couple weeks later during the seasons through certain streaming sites like Crunchyroll and things like that. But again, that's more for the big simulcast. But even some of those, we'll get them here typically later. By a few weeks. Nothing too late unless they are ones that are going to premiere here in the West at the same time as the East.
Okay, all right, good. So the Steins Gate and Rewrited, two things guys was yeah,
definitely something that's really going to be interesting.
Really love the premise of it as well, because I haven't watched too many time traveling really anime, so it's definitely good to see this come out.
They're going to be very, very unique in that aspect, and definitely going to be something special here. Now, going into that and speaking about Steins Gate, that's actually gonna be something here. Like I said, we're gonna touch on here shortly, but the spring season, man, I'm telling you, has such a killer lineup of what's gonna be coming. Yeah, it's packed. They're gonna be big shows returning, new ones. Like it's something that's gonna be so sick. And the ones that I have here are just a few of the coming shows that are gonna be in the season. But it is such a packed and gonna be such a big season. I'm excited for this. Like there have been so many seasons this past year that haven't been really well put, but there have been those standout gems. Like I believe I was talking back in the fall season that the ancient Magus Bride like has me so hooked, and that's actually having its finale here shortly, and I'm glad that it's ending when it is to lead into the spring season, because that one has just been so good. I've loved Ancient Magus Bride. It's had me feeling so good, so cute, so sad, just all sorts of things.
What's that one about?
That's the one that I was telling you about. It's about a girl named Chise who was basically has the ability to see like spirits and things that you would see, stuff like that, magical beings, and everyone thought she was crazy and unloved, and her family thought she was crazy. She had basically been passed around to other relatives, and no one wanted her around, and she basically was bought at a magical auctioning by a warlock, or a mage, actually, to be exact. And he kind of showed her that the reason she sees everything is because she is something called a slay baggy, which is a old mythical being that's able to draw all types of magical energies and spirits to them, both good and bad.
Okay.
And it kind of follows her interaction living with this mage known as I can't think right now, but it's really kind of following their reaction. Elias, that's what his name is, Elias. It's kind of showing how she lives with him and kind of learning about his past, because he thinks that he's a monster. Everyone kind of tells him he's a monster, but she sees the humanity in him, where he saw her when no one else would want her, and it kind of just shows their relationship together. And it's very very interesting. It's been a very sweet, very cute anime, and I've loved it. It's very something unique, and was definitely one of the big knockouts when it came out. And I definitely think that Violet Evergarden was this winner's knockout gem, and it's going to be hard to choose anything out of the spring season. And like I said, man, it's just so packed. First thing on the list, for me personally, because like I said, I do like my anime titties, is
High School DxD.
High School DxD. It's coming back with its 4th season, Hero, and this is the first season we're going to see from the new animation studio, and I'm excited to see how they do. I do know that it's still doing great with the story, following what's going on in the light novels. I'm really excited about it. Like I said, besides all that good stuff, it does have great fights. It has great story. I love the characters all around. I'm excited to see what's coming out of it. It's going to be a big return, because I've been waiting. I think it was 2 or 3 years since the last season from Born, which was the last one from season 3. Next up in the list of what's coming out in the spring is actually the next Gundam Build Fighters, which is called Build Divers, as I stated. This one's actually going to be kind of a sequel to the Fighters franchise, where they build their little gunplas, as what they're called, the model kits of the Gundams, and they put them on a scanner, and they would actually go into virtual reality with the dive helmets that we've seen in so many others.
I actually remember this. I remember promotion for it a while back, though.
Yeah, and actually wear the helmets and pilot the Gundams and virtual reality in tournaments. And I was excited for that, because Build Fighters was so unique and so special. And I love the way that it had Gundam aspect and made so many references to so many of the big Gundams across the entire franchise, and did it in such a different way. And now we're seeing it do it another way again, even though it's a continuation from Fighters. I'm excited for Divers.
Nice. I'm getting some Mega Man vibes from it. Battle Network especially.
Yeah, it's definitely something unique, man. Like Build Divers is something just so cool. If you think about like Mega Man Network, how they would have the little network cards that would house their avatars, and they would upload them into the network when they would plug in somewhere.
Yeah, Battle Network.
Yeah, Battle Network was so much different from what you would think of Mega Man, and that one was so unique and well done. That it's exactly like that. It's a much different spin.
I love those, especially Red Sun, Blue Moon. Those
Red Sun. Yes,
love those ones. Once playing with younger.
Dude, Red Sun and Blue Moon were the two I had for my Game Boy Advance. I would play those all the time. Nice. I miss Battle Network. I really wish they would bring that back. That is a games franchise I miss of Mega Man, especially as a spin-off besides the Mega Man series.
I played on emulators on a PC, so I was cheating like a motherfucker when it got too hard.
Oh man, that's crazy. I definitely should play those on somewhere, man. I loved Battle Network. Another big one for the season is the return of the ever popular Foodgasmic Food Wars.
I have not started one yet. I'm definitely make sure I start for the weekends because I get too many recommendations about that one.
Yeah, Food Wars is definitely was a major knockout when it first came out. I think it was like 2 years ago or so, or maybe 3. that the first season came out, and it has just been knocking it out of the park with each season, with the amount of tension going on for the story as well as the foods that they create. And I think that's the thing that makes Food Wars so unique, is that despite the fact that it has ecchi, it's literally a play on the fact of people state that they have foodgasms because of how good the food is, because they actually talk about how the food is made, show the taste and people's reaction to it. And I think that's what makes it so good, is that it's actually inspired me to start cooking a lot of more unique things from stuff that they've talked about in the show and try to mix up some things. It's great to see that it's coming back for season 4 and so quickly after the fall season, because season 3 left off in such a good point that I really can't wait for the drama and aspect of what's going to happen with season 4 with the Shokugekis, as they're called, or kind of exactly what it is. It's a food war, it's a food battle, so it's going to be definitely interesting to see, and it has me excited. Now, one of the next ones that's coming out in the season that a lot of the panel members here I've hated on, but I've kind of stood by, is Sword Art Online. It has its...
You got that, man.
Sword Art Online has been very polarizing for a lot of people. Is that, either you like it, you hate it, but it's one of those things. But we're actually getting the next season of it called Alternative Gun Gale Online. And what's great about this one is that it's not following Kirito, it's not following Shinon, it's not following Asuna or Asuna and everyone else that we all know here.
Go on.
It's actually following a different character who wants to make friends. And she joins, she gets online and joins the Gun Gale and kind of learns that not everyone is like that. And they kind of gun after her, if you know what I'm saying. But
the lame ass part.
I don't care. It was great. But it kind of shows her, kind of building up these relationships and meeting with these new people and trying to make friends. And one of the game worlds that's probably not the most friendly of all the games that exist inside the Sword Art Online universe. That's why it's known as Alternative Gun Gale Online, is that it's actually following a different story within Gun Gale. And I think it's just going to be nice to get away from Kirito and Asuna and the rest of the people from that little group, because people feel very polarizing with those two, unfortunately.
Yeah. I only remember watching like part of the first episode or so. I was like, man, this is not for me. Years back.
I watched the whole season. I watched both seasons of Sword Art Online, and I enjoyed it. I know where some people definitely have some issues with it. The big issue with a lot of it is that the coming from the light novel aspect, because the fact that it was written, the writer of the series was a teenager and a kid, and the writing definitely showed that it was not eloquent in certain aspects, especially the implied sex scene during the first season was written in the novel. It was not good. It was not.
Yeah. So what's the premise of this anime? Because of course, I never got into it.
The premise of Sword Art Online is that it followed the main character, which is Kirito, is that he was joining the game that he beta tested called Sword Art Online. And when everyone who joined on it on the launch, the creator of the game actually trapped everyone into the game by using software that was put into the headset, that their vitals and everything was tied to the headset itself, and that they had to fight across all 100 levels of the world to beat the game and to escape. So they're trapped in this game world, and if they die in the game, then they die in real life, because he planted the headsets to be able to short out and basically destroy their brain.
Mm-hmm.
So it kind of follows him going through that journey of trying to escape with everyone else, and just a lot of characters interactions, and how he met Asuna and all the other characters, Elizabeth, who was the blacksmith, and everyone else that they have. And after the Sword Art Online story, it followed that one of the keys was that the creator had created something called like an Easter egg that planted what was known as the seed, that actually allowed Sword Art Online to basically tie to so many other games that spawned from it when he released all the code for it. And he gifted that to Kirito, because Kirito actually was one of the few people or was the person to basically defeat him when he found out that he was there the whole time. It's interesting.
Cool. That sounds pretty interesting.
It is interesting. It's definitely has its polarizing aspects. I won't deny that. But if you enjoy it and you like those kind of I forget the subgenre that they spawn in, but it's like trapped in another world. Especially if you like one that's based on a video game, this is definitely one that'll interest you. I was more of a Log Horizon person, but more than anything, I really loved Dot Hack way back in the day, which was the first to do something like this. But that's something totally different. But it was still enjoyable in its own rights, and I would definitely check it out. I'm definitely gonna check this one out, because I think it's cool to have new characters and some new fresh air and new people to see here. So that is definitely one of those things. Yeah, new blood. It is definitely good to see a new cast. It's always great to see the returning characters we know, but always introducing some new people. It is always a good thing.
Okay. So I guess on to this next anime for the spring semester. I'm actually pretty hyped for is a Persona the animation. Yeah. So I never had a chance to play the games, but like seeing gameplay and whatnot, the story looks like a pretty cool premise. It's actually interesting how this one turns out as well.
And you know what's actually interesting about that? And this is coming from Atlas. They've done this with every one of their games besides Catherine. It's probably the ones I could think of, and I think maybe the Trauma Center games, but their Persona franchise, their Shin Megami Tensei franchise, they always get an animation spin-off that kind of tells a story. Yeah. It tells one storyline within, because they don't, the interesting thing about Persona and Shin Megami Tensei is that a lot of the story does come down to your interactions with characters and stuff like that, and certain choices that kind of lead to different endings and things like that. But it is always interesting to see one particular storyline and kind of see how they do these stories. And I watched the Persona 4 animation and loved that one. I love the anime. I've watched some of the Shin Megami Tensei ones that were really good. Devil Survivor was probably one of my favorites, but I haven't played Persona 5 yet, only because I don't have a PS4. It's definitely one of the games I want to play. I do love what Atlas does with Shin Megami Tensei and the Persona series. I was not surprised when it got an announcement for an animation, because I knew it was going to be coming. It's only been a year, and that's about the time frame that they do for the turnaround. Yeah. They did confirm on Twitter earlier, actually, is that it is going to be 24 episodes. So it's going to be a full season as they used to be, which was about 24 episodes instead of the 13, 14 we're used to now.
Nice, have a little run right there.
Yeah, so that's something really good. If you've seen the video promo and some of the pictures from it, like, it is phenomenally well animated. A lot of the Atlas artists help over with the animation studio that's doing it. I'm excited for it. They actually gave the main character a name this time instead of him just being known simply as Joker. So he does have an official name now. I can't remember exactly what it was, but I know that they did a contest for it and made an announcement on a live stream when they made the announcement for the animation. So it is really great to see. I'm excited for it. There's one thing that Persona does so well, and what Atlas does is their music is always phenomenal.
I've heard a lot of raving about the music.
Yeah,
I've heard a lot of raving about it.
The music for Persona 5 was simply just top tier, and I'm excited to actually be able to see that in the animation. You actually hear the music live and see how it matches with the story. I'm excited for it. It's going to be something unique, and I love it. So I'm excited. It's definitely something to be looking out for. A lot of these shows in the spring season coming out all next week. We're right here at the door of the spring season. So starting from April 4th on to the 7th, you're going to see all these shows premiering. So definitely be looking out for that. So
on the cusp of greatness.
Yeah, it's going to be a heavy hitting spring season, and it's all coming out next week. So definitely be looking out. I know a lot of these are Persona 5 is coming out on the 7th. High School DxD coming out on the 7th. I believe Food Wars Season 4 is coming out either on the 4th or the 5th, I believe. I believe Gundam Build Fighters is coming out on the 13th. And then another big one's going to be coming out next week on the 7th, and we're going to talk about that here in a little bit. But Persona 5 is definitely one of the big ones that has me hyped on the spring season. That's going to be just so good, so special, dude. It's definitely
going to be on Crunchyroll as well, right?
Yes,
Crunchyroll, correct?
Some of these will be on Crunchyroll, yes, as well as on Funimation. So definitely be checking out for between both of those.
Okay.
Because I would say that most of these would be, because these are big names, and typically with the way Crunchyroll works, they do pull a lot of the bigger animes. So these would definitely be some of the ones that we would see. I don't know about High School DxD just because of the fact that they are very careful when it comes to ecchis. But it might be, so definitely look out for that. But do what you got to do to catch what you want to catch. Next on the list is probably one that we've all enjoyed and talked about and are intrigued about, is that Tokyo Ghoul is getting its 3rd season, but it's not following what we already know established from Kaneki and the 1st season of Tokyo Ghoul or En route Alpha. This is actually Tokyo Ghoul Re, which is actually following a group of half ghouls that work specifically with the organization known as the Doves, who hunt down ghouls. And this was a very unique choice to do for a 3rd season, as it's a major spin-off novel, but it's really well done. And from what some of the early animation promotion shows, some of the early promotions shows is that the animation is phenomenal. I love it. And I'm excited for it, because even with my issues with Route A, for the 2nd season of Tokyo Ghoul, I still loved it. The ending still made me cry. The music has always been something special. My issue was the opening music was god awful after the 1st season with Unravel. Like, come on, how do you mess that up?
That's why I skip all of them. That's why I skip all of them.
But I'm excited for Tokyo Ghoul Re. And for a second here, I do have to make a shout out to Cammy. She did state there in the chat that Build Divers is actually coming out on April 3rd, not the 13th.
Nice.
So thank you for that. Yeah, thank you for that, Cammy. That's definitely great to see. Like I said, I'm excited. I love Build Fighters. Build Divers is going to be something unique. Everything, like I said, is coming out within the next week for the spring season. Definitely be looking out for that. But yeah, Tokyo Ghoul Re, I'm really looking forward to it. I do love the other characters. I didn't read much into the side manga from the Tokyo Ghoul Re storyline, and I really want to, especially because some of the characters that they've already showed are just phenomenal. I'm excited for what we're getting out of it. G, do you have anything to say on Tokyo Ghoul Re?
Man, I can't wait for it, bro. I'm stoked. I love Tokyo Ghoul. I love the movie that came out last year.
Oh yeah, the live action was well done.
I thought it was well done, dude. Considering that most of those movies are not really that great, that was one of the better ones for me. I just want them to fix all the wrongs I felt was done in season 2, man. Like they gotta redeem themselves, because season 2 of the show, It wasn't. I don't know, dude. It was just
Well,
wrong.
It was rough because the second season did their own storyline instead of following the manga, which the first season was doing. Because the way that they ended the first season was that Kaneki left and went to go join, what was it called, Antiq, which was the other ghouls, instead of staying there at the coffee shop and joining them where he was supposed to. And that was one of the biggest things that really kind of pushed it in a different direction, where a lot of people have complaints.
I've read about what a lot of the new season is going to be about, and I'm all for it, dude. It sounds really good. I mean, because I guess like supposedly the way that one ended, he has amnesia from the fight he had with that guy at the very end of the show, and now he's a part of like the doves, pretty much like hunting and stuff, hunting the enemies down. So.
Yep, that was the storyline that they set up for the storyline in Re, is that he actually suffered amnesia and ended up working with a special unit made up of half ghouls to hunt down other ghouls.
Yo,
and I believe at one point he actually becomes the leader of that team, and it's gonna be something unique. I'm really looking forward to it. And like I said, did you have any thoughts on Persona 5, the animation coming out, or some of the other stuff that we're talking about?
I have no thought on Persona. I haven't. I've only played the game, just a little bit, bro. Like, and it was whatever to me. It wasn't nothing that was like, I don't know. Maybe I expected more from it because of the hype it was getting. Because I mean, when you see stuff on Twitter and whatnot, everybody's like, "Oh, greatest RPG, this and that."
Well, Twitter's just high culture anyway, so you can't take them much credit.
So I was just like, I don't see the greatest. It's okay. But like, but the backlog's so big, bro, and having time, and then my PS4 is like taking a dump on me because I got to buy this Pro for when God of War comes out. I just didn't even spend like an expanded amount of time on it. But if the anime's gonna be good, bro, like I said, I'm always good for good anime, bro. If it's not, then it can just be fodder and just go in the back, bro.
Yeah, but I think that the animation.
What is it? Now I just drew a blank. Dang it.
But the animation.
Food Wars. I'm looking forward to that though.
Yeah, that's what we were just talking about. Food Wars season 4 is coming out, and that was gonna be exciting. I love that one. Yeah. And then we're talking about Build Divers, which I'm looking forward to as the sequel to Build Fighters, because man, that's just throwbacks to so many old Gundams. It truly is a nostalgia trip in such a great way. But did you have any? But for Persona 5, like I said, they always do an animation for Persona, for Shin Megami Tensei. They always do, and I'm excited for it. You know, haven't played the game yet. I want to, but it's going to be interesting. Did you have any thoughts on the alternative Gun Gale Online for Sword Art?
I don't really care for. I played the new Sword Art game. I didn't care for it. I've not really cared for the shows either. So no, I don't really.
Okay.
I'm not really excited for it. I don't really care for it. Yeah. It's just not for me. I've tried. At least I gave it a try, but it's just something that's just not for
this
me.
One's gonna be different because it's not gonna be following Kirito and the others. It's actually gonna be a new set of characters. So I would recommend at least trying it, giving it a shot. But it's not gonna be.
I will. I mean, I'll at least do that. I'll give it a gander. Maybe I have to watch at least 3 episodes. I don't just judge it from the first episode.
Yeah, that's
because the first episode sucks. There's a possibility the second one's a lot better. And then there's a possibility it just gets worse. So I do give it that.
It's not the first episode.
Yeah,
I do give it that. Dude. So hopefully it's good, I guess.
Yeah, exactly, man. But I'm excited for it. Like I said, it's definitely gonna be something. I follow the three episode rule. Not everyone does. It is always up to choice, but that is one that I've personally do. But now the next one, this is probably one of the ones that's going to be unique out of this star-studded lineup for the spring season, for me at least. It's called Golden Kamuy, right? And Golden Kamuy is something interesting because it's kind of it's a historical fantasy style anime, kind of what we had a while back with Joker game, where it talked about spies during World War II in Japan. This one's going to be a little bit of that history fantasy that we know as well, and it's going to be a bit of an adventure style. But the interesting thing about this is that this is actually following the Russo-Japanese War, which was between the Japanese and the Russians long time ago in the early 1900s. and it's actually following. His name is Sugimoto. He's a survivor of one of the battles during the war, and he's actually become a miner. And he's actually trying to provide for the widow of one of his comrades during the war. And he actually hears the story of a hidden gold that was stashed by a criminal group. And he accidentally actually finds information about the location of the gold, and he goes in search of it. And while he's out there trying to search and start his little journey, he gets attacked by a wild boar and gets saved by probably one of the most badass girls who you will find around. Her name is Aserpa, I believe it's how it's pronounced. But she saves him and actually decides to join him and trying to find this gold because her dad was killed by hunters who were looking for the gold, and she's trying to get revenge for them and find the gold before they can. And dude, this little girl is almost as badass as Sonya the Evil, if you haven't seen that one. But it's gonna be a great one. It's very, very action oriented, very adventurous, but it has a lot of comedy to it, so it's gonna be interesting for this one. I think this is gonna be one of the big standouts for this season, despite all the big names that are returning.
Nice.
Yeah, I think that sounds like it's gonna be the ones that shake everybody up. Just like, whoa, what? Caught me off guard. Because I mean, George War wasn't that bad either, though, dude. So, I'm up for it.
Yeah, so I think this is gonna be one of the big standouts, and I'm definitely hyped for this.
I'm big on art, bro. So if the art is like super dope, dude, I'm in, dude. Like,
and this is the first of it, right? Correct.
Yeah, this is one of the big ones that are standing out that isn't a spin-off, isn't a second season or any sort of sequel like that. It is going to be an original story that is being adapted from a manga right now, and it's going to be starting. That one's actually going to be coming out on the 9th, so it's actually going to be the Tuesday after next. So not this coming Tuesday, but the second Tuesday afterwards. So it's definitely going to be one of the big standouts here for the spring season. Like I said, the next week and a half is going to be all kicking off, and it's going to be heavy hitters all the way across the board.
Oh man, next Saturday, bro. Next Saturday.
Oh man, you're not even talking about it. We're about to get into that one. Calm down. Dude, next Saturday is going to have 3 or 4 shows kicking it off. So the spring season is going to kick off with a bang, and I'm telling you that right now. But yeah, so Golden Camel, we definitely be looking out for it. Yeah, definitely. So ready. The next one here is this is why I was saying we'll be talking about Steins Gate a little bit later, is that it's actually getting a second season, or kind of like a spin-off series called Steins Gate Zero. Now, like I said, the original Steins Gate is about the mad scientist trying to save the love of his life with his time-traveling antics. Well, Steins Gate Zero actually follows an alternate timeline where he wasn't able to save her at all, no matter what he did. And it's going to be a little bit more of a bleaker take on it, but it's still something interesting, as Steins Gate, like I said, was so something special and enjoyable, and the antics of all the main characters in that series and what was going on to kind of lead to that, to save the character that he was trying to, was something special. And now they're doing a spinoff showing that he wasn't able to get that happy ending that everyone tries to get, is something very, very good. And I think that's going to touch a much different approach and a much different kind of tone all the way around, you know?
Okay, so how many tissue boxes do I need to buy before these animes come out?
This one is probably definitely going to need one. You're going to need a full box.
All right.
Like I said, you got to watch the first series first, the original Steins Gate. I believe that one had 2 seasons. I think it's a total of like 25 episodes or so.
That's not too bad.
Oh yeah, I know that it is on Hulu, I believe, as well as I believe it's on Netflix as well. Yeah, the first season was 24 episodes. So yeah, so Steins Gate is full 24 episodes from the original one. So definitely be looking out here for the second one with the spin-off, Steins Gate Zero. Like I said, this one's going to be a much different take and be a little bit sadder, but I definitely find it interesting because
I'm interested in it because I don't like not that I don't like fairy tale endings, we just get it so often, bro. So to see that shit didn't work out and stuff is gonna pop off some other kind of way, dude, I'm all for it.
Yeah,
I like seeing that.
And like
because every time it's always the feel good story. Oh, he saved the day. Oh, this. Oh, this. No, show me what happened when you don't. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and that's the interesting thing about it.
In the real world, everybody don't always get what they want. Dude.
Yeah, and like I said, that's what makes the first season so interesting is that he has to fail a bunch of times to be able to get that happy ending because he has to time travel with his special microwave over and over again to try and get things just right to be able to do what he needed to do. And I think this one's interesting is that it's going to show in one of those times when he just fails and couldn't do it. So it's definitely, you get the good, happy ending, and then, so think of it in typical RPG fashion, you get your good end, and now you're getting your bad end. So I think that's a great way to do it.
Yeah, I'm stoked for that too. Then.
Yeah, definitely check out Steins Gate for those who haven't seen it. It came out back in the spring of 2011, much older, but really one of
2011.
Yeah,
everybody doing a sequel or spinoff right now.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, and well, Steins Gate's always been very interesting because of the fact that a lot of people love the way that they handle time travel in it. So and yeah, it's crazy that it's just now getting a spinoff or a sequel and anyway, but it's still really great to see.
I can't get over the microwave though. I can't get over the microwave.
Yeah,
sometimes that break in between is what it needs, man.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, man, it really does. It's done some others some really good justice. Others not so much because sometimes they don't even remember what they did before. I'm looking at you, Blue Exorcist. Looking at you. Failed the first time.
Sometimes you gotta continue to strike while the fire is hot, bro. Just stay on there.
And look at what and some are able to keep the hype momentum going. Look at what happened with Attack on Titan. As soon as the second season got announced, that hype train, even though it was years later, just took off. And the third season is supposed to be coming out here soon.
I heard the third season is gonna be much better than the second season, though.
Yeah, but to round out our list of stuff for the spring season, as the 7th has already been marketed for quite a few things. You know, we got High School DxD.
There's only one that matters, though.
High School DxD. Yeah, let's go. We're talking about...
Send that to Haiti.
You know, we're talking about the global phenomenon right now. The new sensation that's taking the nation, the king of shonen right now, and that's My Hero. You were just saving that.
I was waiting for it. Like a good 5 minutes for that shit.
Oh my God.
Telling you, yes, we all here on the Smash podcast. If it wasn't noticed in the name, we're all fans.
United States of Smash, baby, we here.
Yes, sir. United States of Smash.
I smashed California. You know, doesn't sound right. That's why
I'm Texas Smash right here.
Getting a nice Georgia Smash on the East Coast. Let's go.
But we're all fans of My Hero, and it's hard not to be a fan of this show. This show, when I found it at first, I didn't hear any talk about it. I just saw like the first 3 episodes.
Dude, nothing, bro. I was just like, what?
Yeah, I was just like, what the heck is My Hero Academia? And I'm looking at it, I'm just like, oh, cool. It's kind of like a superhero show. And the first episode, dude, had me in the feels. I was like tearing up, feeling for Deku by the end of the second episode when All Might was telling him, he's like, you could be a hero. He's just like, you needed just someone to believe in you. And he's just crying. I'm just like, oh, my heart.
Me, my friend showed me the Plus Ultra scene. I was like, oh, I need to go back and watch this shit now for real.
Yeah, but man, when I saw that, I was just like, oh, it's so good, and it just got so better over time. The action, one of the best animated like fights in recent memory. Like, it has one of the best tournament arcs in a shonen that's only behind like Yu Yu Hakusho and Hunter x Hunter and some of the others, dude. Like, there's so many that this is keeping up with that have established names, and this has been such a global phenomenon. I was so sad when the second season ended, and I was just like, I need it now. I don't want it to be over. And right after that, they announced that the third season. I was just so happy, just waiting for the day. And next Saturday, like for some of us who were sad about Super ending, others who weren't, you know, this is the perfect fill-in because we're only taking a week break in between the end of Super going into the spring season and My Hero picking
and
up.
I dare say we're getting something better.
Yes, fuck Super.
I dare say I don't care.
Whoa, calm down, calm down there.
I won't go that far, bro.
No,
but
fall
My
for
Hero,
it. No,
My Hero is that show. It is superior to Dragon Ball. Sorry, guys.
I mean, to you gotta think that Dragon Ball helps really establish the shonen genre, but if
definitely.
and you gotta remember, we also had the big three way back in the day with Naruto, Bleach, and One Piece. And of all the new shonens that have recently come out, if anything could take on the legacy of the shonen franchise or genre, like some of those, My Hero has definitely been the one to pick up where those
it's crazy, dude, because as simple as My Hero is, dude, that one draw me in much faster, much quicker than any of the previous ones you just named, bro.
Exactly, man.
It's crazy to sound. And even you know what? I gotta give some a little shout out to that Black Clover too. That show's caught me off guard, bro. Especially right now where it's at, like it's legit.
Yes, like I understand people have the issues with Asta always yelling. I find it funny because it's just his character.
Yeah,
and
he's a bratty ass character, dude.
Yeah,
it does work.
Exactly, but and like after episode 10,
trying to like put over, bro, because I mean he is looked at the way he's looked at, so he's like, I want your attention because I am not like everyone else.
Exactly.
And you guys treat me like crap. I'm from a crappy ass location because they always talk about, oh, these people, they're like not noble and whatnot. The noble people got their noses in the air and they're like, oh, we can't be beaten by this little guy from the village, like up nowhere, you know, like. So he has every right to yell, cuss, and flip off whoever the hell he feels like it, dude. Keep on going, man. That shows the shit.
It was funny. Like he doesn't even care about how everyone else thinks of them. He doesn't care that they look down on him. He's just like, I'm just gonna change that. But he's just loud because of the fact that he's always energetic,
emotional, dude. Yeah,
sincere. And where after episode 10, the action in that show picked up so dude, well, and like it's just been getting better. Like the
and then
fight
you find
scenes,
out about the other family, the other families too, and what like who's related to who, and then you got the family of like what is it, the ones that are like ice or whatnot, and then you have the ones that are fire. They're like been fighting for 100 years.
Everyone who's in the Silver Eagles, they're all brothers and sisters.
Hey, don't spoil it for me now. Don't spoil it for me.
Yeah. Like it's gotten so good, like, and I could see why some people are saying, okay, this is gonna be another great shonen. I wouldn't say it's the king of shonen.
So. I believe so, dude.
Yeah, no, My Hero is definitely taking the name of King of Shonen as of right now. But Black Clover is definitely going to be one of the other big top shonens right alongside it.
Yeah, it deserves a watch. It deserves some praise. That's why I wanted to put it out there because we didn't mention
definitely.
It. But that deserves some praise, dude. That's one of the better ones that's out.
And that
right
one's
now.
still ongoing. That one's still ongoing right now. Mm-hmm. So definitely, I think
it's like on episode 25, I believe.
24, 25, something like that. Yeah, but definitely check it out. It deserves a look.
And the episodes that are right now, like 18 to 24 right now, have been lit, dude. You're talking about like nonstop fighting every single episode. It's been good, dude. You're seeing some of the most powerful people come out and appear. You're seeing people that you only heard about like in little tales and stuff like that. Like it's legit, dude.
Yeah, Black Clover's original anime, correct?
No, it is based on an ongoing manga.
Okay.
Oh yeah. That's right. It is.
Yeah, but it is definitely one of those ones that did come out of nowhere. Except for those who actually found the manga first.
But you know, I heard a lot of people didn't give the manga any love, dude.
Yeah, and that's one thing, and I see here why, you know, it's definitely being hailed as one of the next big shonen, because a lot of people who said that they have read the manga and show what happens later on, Asta definitely deserves everything that he gets in time, man. Like he's working it, and I like what they're doing right now with the anime. The only issue that people stated is that they're slowing it down intentionally. That's the only issue that a lot of people have, instead of doing like the chapter and a half that others have done.
They said they're slowing it down right now. I don't know, man. That thing seems like it's a
some people said that there were some people that said an entire episode was like less than half a chapter, whereas others would do like a chapter and a half.
That's how My Hero is too, though, dude. Because like when you read the manga, like it's only like it could be like 5 or 6 pages as one whole episode of the show, bro. So it's like it's like that.
Yeah, but that also comes down to pacing and how they do the stories. But man, it's one of those things, man. I definitely am loving Black Clover. It did not deserve a lot of the disrespect it got because it did pick up. I loved it. I love Asta. He's crazy. And you know, My Hero is just as big because they had their own version of Asta with Bakugo always
that's my
yelling,
guy, bro.
hating boy.
That's my guy. That's my guy, and I can't wait for you
Lord.
guys to see what is going to happen in season 3 with that guy, dude. You're talking about the transformation, bro. Oh my gosh.
You would be one who likes Lord
I'm
Explosion murder.
Oh yeah, dude. He wants to kill people. I'm just telling you, like, since I read the manga, dude, like, what we have in store for season 3, bro, I cannot.
They actually recently showed off recently announced 4 visuals for some of the new villains we're going to be seeing. And some of them sound interesting. I'm excited. All I know is next week, it's going to kick off.
Dude, if I want to, how many episodes do you think this season's going to be? About 20, another 20?
No, I think it's going to be another 25 episode.
Bro, I just want it to get to where you see the most, okay, you know how you said, like, we see one of the greatest fights in anime history and whatnot? You just said that not too long ago. Bro,
we got 2. No, we got 2 because we have All Might versus Nomu, which is probably phenomenal, and then of course the Todoroki and Deku fight, which was probably the most iconic fight, and especially for tournaments.
All right. So let me tell you this right now, bro. If we could get to it, when you have All Might against All For One, bro, that fight alone shits on all those other fights. You're gonna forget about those other fights. I'm telling you, bro. The epicness, bro. Like I got to like
that's some high stakes right there,
book, dude. And I was just like, I don't want to finish. Like, I don't want this fight to finish. Like, and what happens, bro? Like, it launches. That's why I say I hope that we see it this season. They don't drag it out to the next season. If we get it this season, that means the following season you see, because the way it ends is like pretty much the passing of the torches to Deku and to Shigaraki, bro. Like, complete passing of the torch. Like, it's gonna be epic, bro.
So we're gonna see the.
If you think All Might and Nomu went at it, bro, like, dude, the man, I'm so excited, bro. Like, what you see All Might go through. You know how he had the injury and whatnot, bro. You see another side of All Might you don't believe, bro. Like, you're just like, dude, this guy. You literally see why he is.
I'm not gonna start
we're gonna have to stop right now because you're gonna start getting too excited, go to spoiler territory.
No, I'm not. I got this. I'm just telling you. You're gonna see something, bro. Like, emotionally, that All Might does, bro. That hasn't been touched like in any other show, bro. You're gonna be like, no, flipping way. Like, you see why he is literally number 1. You see that he's number 1, and then even Endeavor, who's been chasing him for the titles, like, bro, like, I couldn't have mustered that. Like, he is number 1. When the other heroes come out, it's just like, yo, that's the dude. Like, that's him. Man, I'm telling you, bro. Like, it goes down, dude.
Right, real quick. The guy you mentioned in our group chat. Will we see him in the 3rd season or no?
Well, we don't know if he's gonna be, and they don't know if he's gonna be in the 3rd season.
This fight, it should be the end of the 3rd season because it's kind of like it kind of ends the arc of the what's going to happen in the 3rd season, because the 3rd season is going to be about the field trip. Yeah, and that wraps up the field trip, because the field trip, they all go on the field trip and then they get attacked. Pretty much how like the UA Academy, not the UA Academy, the USJ, when they went to the
the training facility. The rescue
when they went there. Yeah, when he went there and they got attacked, but this time they're gonna get attacked by a bunch of villains, bro. And then, I mean, you guys already know that the villains started infiltrating the school, like it being students too, because that's what Shigaraki was implanting at the end of season 2. Yeah. So, like, bro, my gosh, dude.
So we will see Lei in the 3rd season? You think we will? I don't want to say his full name, I won't spoil it, but you think we will see him?
Who? Lemillion?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no doubt. That's not a spoiler. You're gonna see him, dude. Like,
Lemillion's been announced. They haven't announced Lemillion.
He's gonna come out. He's gonna come out very soon. At least in the first probably like 2-3 episodes. That cat right there too, bro.
He's a hero, right?
Yes, he is, man. Like, and he is the hero. For like, he be mopping up classes by himself, bro. He legit, dude.
I've only got one thing to say right here.
I'm about to start a damn manga now because of Super G's little rant. I'm about to start it tonight.
I got one thing to say.
Bro, I'm telling you, you guys have not seen the greatest act of superheroism. All Might's gonna show you, bro.
Oh man,
he's gonna make any sacrifice any other hero has ever did. Like, and I don't mean sacrifice in death. I'm just saying like what he put on the line, bro. Like in this fight, he's gonna. There's nothing can match it. Nothing can touch it, bro.
Oh, man. All right, we're gonna have to calm me down there, sir. I understand you get excited. I know you're excited, but we're gonna have to pause that as not to ruin it for anyone else when we get there. But it definitely sounds like we're gonna have an excitement for season 3. There's gonna be a lot of good stuff. That was my version of a Marvel trailer to get you guys all stoked and all happy and can't wait for the fucking movie.
So should I start a manga or just wait until anime drops?
Man, hey, just start it because you're not gonna I would say start it because they're pretty decent size. Depending on your pace of reading, you'll probably if you start it say like sometime this week before the show start, you won't be there.
You'll probably be.
But you'll see a lot of stuff like in the manga that like of course the episodes follow the manga like really good, like almost to the T. But he has his little pages where he'll like give you side story on certain characters, why he drew them, and what other stuff to look forward to that may happen with them. Yeah. So you do see stuff like that, dude. But for the most part, like even the dialogue is like straight to the T, bro. It's like ripped straight from the pages of the book.
Bet. All right.
Yeah, man.
It's dope, dude. That's my number 1 right now, bro. I can't wait.
That's something else, man. That's crazy. But
that show butters my biscuits, bro.
Well, definitely sounds like we're all excited for it, man. But as we all know, we're all major fans here for My Hero, and this is something we've been waiting for eagerly. So it's great to see that's coming out soon, and we're only a week away. You know, we're definitely going to start talking about our thoughts after each episode. We're going to have a discussion piece on those. But I definitely think we've hit it really good today, man. It's been a fun time. I want to thank everyone who's watching right now, who had watched, for coming out and joining on us and talking with us and everyone else, man. It's been a good day. Even with some of our panel members, our regulars, not able to haven't been here and had some things coming up, you know. But everyone else who was here with us, you know, always thank you and graciously for coming out and joining us. Of course, all of our contact information is down below. You can find us all on Twitter, all over the place. Just having a good time. Definitely reach out to us, talk to us. But other than that, from everyone here at the United States of Smash, peace out and check you later, guys.
Plus Ultra.
Bye.